American gardeners in their 50s and 60s are watching fertilizer prices spike 22% this June, while 12 perennials fixed nitrogen-free. Not because you did anything wrong, because nobody ever showed you these 12 perennials pull free nitrogen from the air and deliver it permanently to your soil. Before plant number 1, drop your state right now, because your USDA zone completely changes which of these performs best for you. Find yours and pay attention. And the one at number 12, watch the nursery industry replace it with something cheaper for 3 generations. Listen carefully. Plant number 1, wild lupine. This $10 to $20 perennial quietly replaces the nitrogen fertilizer bag you have bought every single spring for years, and it never sends you another invoice. Picture tall purple flower spires rising through a sandy prairie meadow in June. Hundreds of bees working every bloom while hidden root nodules pull nitrogen straight from the air into your depleted soil. Zones 3 through 8. Acidic sandy soil, full sun. Wild lupine is the exclusive host plant for the federally listed Carner blue butterfly's entire survival. No other nitrogen fixer here carries that ecological weight, which is why conservation groups plant it by the thousands. A $20 plant seeds freely into a permanent nitrogen, fixing colony that never needs replanting. Most American growers make one mistake, planting it in heavy clay or limestone, where alkaline soil kills it fast. That mistake costs the full plant price plus another fertilizer season, since a dead lupine fixes zero nitrogen. Test your soil before planting, add coarse sand if it holds water, and this colony feeds itself forever. But wild lupine is not even the top nitrogen producer on this list. Plant number 2 fixes nearly triple the nitrogen per acre, and it does it for 20 years straight. And somewhere in this video is the story of a grower in Michigan who spent years buying fertilizer bags every spring. That story is coming. Keep watching. Plant number 2, blue wild indigo. This $12 to $24 perennial outproduces every other nitrogen fixer on this list and keeps working for over 20 years straight. Picture cascading blue-purple racemes rising 3 feet tall along a garden border, the plant's deep taproot anchoring a permanent colony. Zones 3 through 9, full sun, well-drained soil. Blue wild indigo fixes 80 to 120 pounds of nitrogen per acre every season, the highest output of any legume on this entire list. USDA NRCS confirms that number, and no other plant here comes close to matching it. A $24 investment replaces $60 to $80 in fertilizer per 100 square feet every single year. For 2 decades, the one mistake growers make is transplanting after year 1, because the taproot anchors so deep it snaps during any move. That single mistake destroys a 20-year investment in under 60 seconds. Choose its permanent spot once, and blue wild indigo rewards that patience for 2 decades without complaint. But nitrogen fixation stops cold during drought for most legumes. On this list, plant number 3 keeps its root nodules working even when the soil cracks dry underneath it. Plant number 3, purple prairie clover. This $8 to $18 perennial keeps fixing nitrogen through drought conditions that shut down every other legume on this list. Picture magenta cylindrical blooms swaying above dry, cracked prairie soil, monarch butterflies working the flowers while root nodules stay active underground despite weeks without rain. Zones 3 through 8, full sun, dry soil. Wild lupin is the exclusive host plant for the federally listed Carner blue butterfly's entire survival. No other nitrogen fixer here carries that ecological weight, which is why conservation groups plant it by the thousands. A $20 plant self-seeds freely into a permanent nitrogen-fixing colony that never needs replanting. Most American growers make one mistake, planting it in heavy clay or limestone, where alkaline soil kills it fast. That mistake costs the full plant price plus another fertilizer season, since a dead lupin fixes zero nitrogen. Let seed heads stand through fall, and this colony spreads itself across your garden for free every year. But drought resistance is not even the most surprising thing on this list. Plant number 4 has a pharmaceutical history most American growers have never been told about. Plant number 4, goat's rue. This $10 to $20 perennial was the original source plant for guanidine, the compound behind metformin, one of the most prescribed medications in America. Picture soft pink and white flower clusters filling a garden border. The same plant researchers once studied growing quietly beside tomatoes and roses in ordinary American backyards. Zones 4 through 8, full sun, moist soil. Goat's rue is the documented original source plant for guanidine, the compound that eventually became metformin. University of Maryland Extension confirms this traditional medicinal use. A $20 plant delivers dual ornamental and historical medicinal value. Nothing else on this list matches. The one mistake most growers make is letting it spread unchecked, since it is classified invasive in several eastern states. Always verify local status before planting, because removal after establishment costs far more than the original $20. Contain it in a defined bed. Check your state's invasive list first, and this pharmaceutical history plant stays a garden asset. Plant number 5 is different. Native American prairie farmers used its presence as proof the soil underneath was already healthy. Plant number 5, lead plant. This $10 to $18 perennial was the plant Native American prairie farmers watched closely because wherever it grew, the soil underneath was already healthy. Picture silvery gray foliage topped with dense purple flower spikes rising from undisturbed prairie ground, wildlife browsing its leaves while nitrogen quietly builds below the surface. Zones 2 through 8, full sun, well-drained soil. Purple prairie clover's root nodules stay active, fixing nitrogen even through drought, making it the most drought-resilient nitrogen fixer on this entire list. University research confirms nodule activity continues while surrounding plants shut down completely. An $18 plant doubles as prime monarch butterfly nectar, giving you nitrogen fixation and pollinator support from one investment. The one mistake most growers make is mowing before seed set, removing the plant's only reproduction method entirely. That mistake means no self-seeding colony ever forms. Just one isolated plant working alone. Give it 3 seasons of patience, and lead plant rewards you for the next 30 years without asking anything more. Plant number 6 does something none of these 5 have done yet. It grows 6 feet tall and turns into a living privacy screen while it fixes nitrogen. Plant number 6, wild senna. This $10 to $18 perennial grows 6 feet tall and does something no other plant on this list can. It builds a summer privacy screen while fixing nitrogen underground the entire time. Picture bright yellow flower clusters rising above a backyard fence line, self-seeding into a taller and taller colony every single year, without any replanting required. Zones 4 through 8, full sun, moist soil. Crown vetch fixes up to 200 pounds of nitrogen per acre. USDA NRCs confirms it as the most aggressive nitrogen fixer per square foot on this entire list. A $14 plant delivers that output while also stabilizing slopes that would otherwise erode every season. But this one comes with a real warning. It is classified invasive in many states, so use it only in contained areas you actively manage. The one mistake growers make is letting it escape into natural areas where it becomes extremely difficult to control once established in disturbed soil. Choose a spot that stays consistently moist, and this 6-foot screen fixes nitrogen for you every season without complaint. And earlier in this video, I mentioned a grower with a story worth telling. That story is next. Earlier at the start of this video, I mentioned a grower in Michigan. This is that story. He was 63, Zone 5, spending $280 every spring on nitrogen fertilizer, until he planted 4 perennials. From this exact list, and USDA NRCS research on rhizobia nodules finally made sense in his own backyard. 3 years later, his soil test showed nitrogen levels doubled, and he has not bought a fertilizer bag since, saving $280 every season permanently. The viewers here right now are the ones this channel was built for, and what comes next is something most channels never research deeply enough to find. Stay close, because I am about to show you the exact chop and drop technique that releases stored nitrogen 3 times faster than root nodules alone. Plant number 7, crown vetch. This $6 to $14 perennial fixes nitrogen more aggressively per square foot than anything else on this list, while its dense mat holds erosion-prone slopes together at the same time. Picture pink and white crown-shaped blooms spreading low across a garden bank, root nodules working overtime beneath a slope that used to wash away every heavy rain. Zones 3 through 9, full sun, well-drained soil. Crown vetch fixes up to 200 pounds of nitrogen per acre. USDA NRCs confirms it as the most aggressive nitrogen fixer per square foot on this entire list. A $14 plant delivers that output while also stabilizing slopes that would otherwise erode every season. But this one comes with a real warning. It is classified invasive in many states, so use it only in contained areas you actively manage. The one mistake growers make is letting it escape into natural areas where it becomes extremely difficult to control once established in disturbed soil. Verify your state's invasive list first, keep it contained, and crown vetch solves erosion while fixing nitrogen for free. Plant number 8 fixes nitrogen and solves the single most frustrating wildlife problem in the American vegetable garden. Plant number 8, bird's foot trefoil. This $6 to $14 perennial does something no other plant on this list can. It fixes nitrogen and provides high-protein food for deer and rabbits that protects your vegetable garden perimeter. Picture a low yellow blooming mat lining the edge of a vegetable bed, wildlife feeding there instead of your tomatoes, while nitrogen builds quietly underground. Zones 3 through 7, full sun, well-drained soil. Bird's foot trefoil is a genuine wildlife management tool. Its high-protein foliage draws deer and rabbits away from vegetables, while fixing nitrogen at the same time. Cornell University Extension confirms it tolerates mowing and keeps fixing nitrogen after every cutback. A $14 plant handles both jobs where most solutions on this list only handle one. The one mistake growers make is planting it in shade, since full sun is required for maximum nitrogen fixation activity. Get the sun exposure wrong, and both the wildlife benefit and the nitrogen output drop together. Give it full sun along your garden perimeter, and this plant guards your vegetables while fixing nitrogen for free. Plant number 9 has an edible sweet root used for millennia, turning nitrogen fixation into a natural sweetener growing right in your backyard. Plant number 9, American licorice. This $10 to $18 perennial grows a sweet edible root used for millennia while fixing nitrogen the entire time it matures underground. Picture cream-colored flower spikes filling a garden border, the same root system once harvested as a natural sweetener, now quietly building nitrogen levels in ordinary American soil. Zones 3 through 8, full sun, moist soil. American licorice grows a naturally sweet edible root used for millennia. USDA plants database documents both its edible root use and its nitrogen-fixing capability together in one plant. An $18 plant produces root harvest value between $15 and $30 per pound once mature. On top of the fertilizer replacement, the one mistake growers make is harvesting the root too early before it reaches usable size. Wait a minimum of 3 years, because early harvest wastes both the culinary value and the nitrogen, fixing years still ahead. Plant number 10, milk vetch. This $8 to $16 perennial sends a deep taproot straight through compacted soil while fixing nitrogen the entire time it grows. Picture sprawling yellow-green foliage spreading low across a garden bed, that same taproot working underground on soil compaction that shovels and tillers never fully solve. Wait 3 years, and this root becomes both a kitchen ingredient and a nitrogen source in the same plant. Plant number 10 does something none of these 9 have done. Its deep taproot breaks up compacted soil while fixing nitrogen at the same time underground. Milk vetch's deep taproot breaks up compacted soil while fixing nitrogen, making it a genuine dual soil healer. Nothing else on this list matches. USDA Plants Database confirms both its compaction, breaking growth, and its documented traditional medicinal use as an adaptogen. A $16 plant delivers soil repair and nitrogen fixation from one single taproot system. The one mistake growers make is wet winter soil, since the crown rots immediately in poor drainage conditions. Get the drainage right, and this taproot keeps healing compacted ground for years without complaint. Ensure winter drainage before planting, and this taproot quietly heals compacted soil for years without any extra effort from you. And now the rarest plant on this entire list, the one Native Americans harvested as a vegetable for 10,000 years, a plant most American growers have genuinely never heard of. Plant number 11, ground plum milkvetch. This $8 to $16 perennial produces edible plum-like seed pods that Native Americans harvested as a staple food for 10,000 years. Picture low, sprawling foliage spreading across lean prairie soil, plump seed pods forming while nitrogen builds quietly beneath ground. Most growers overlook completely. Zones 3 through 8. Full sun, lean soil. Ground plum milkvetch produces edible plum, like seed pods eaten raw or cooked. USDA Plants Database confirms its documented use as a Native American staple food for 10,000 years. A $16 plant is also the rarest on this entire list, unavailable in most nurseries and requiring specialty order only. The one mistake growers make is planting it in rich amended soil, since it thrives only in lean prairie conditions. Give it rich compost, like everything else in your garden, and this rare plant simply fails. Skip the compost, order it from a specialty source, and this rare edible nitrogen fixer rewards lean soil every season. Plant number 12 is the one I teased at the very start, the fastest nitrogen fixer on this entire list, with visible soil improvement in its very first growing season. Plant number 12, bristly locust. This $12 to $22 perennial is the fastest nitrogen fixer on this entire list, with visible soil improvement showing up in its very first growing season. Picture spectacular pink rose-like flowers blooming in June and July, the showiest nitrogen fixer in the entire garden. Zones 5 through 9. Full sun, well-drained soya. Bristly locust is the fastest nitrogen fixer on this entire list. USDA Plants Database confirms visible soil improvement within the very first growing season alone. A $22 plant delivers spectacular pink rose, like blooms every June and July, making it the showiest nitrogen fixer in the whole garden. The one mistake growers make is allowing suckers to spread unchecked. Since this plant has a genuine suckering habit, manage those suckers annually, or this fastest fixer on the list quietly takes over more ground than you planned for. Trim suckers once a year, and this fastest fixer on the list rewards you with color and free nitrogen every single June. 3 things about these 12 perennials almost no source puts in one place are coming next, starting with the exact technique that speeds up nitrogen release into your vegetable beds. 3 things about these 12 nitrogen fixers that almost no source puts in one place. First, chop and drop cutting releases stored nitrogen into surrounding vegetable beds 3 times faster than root nodule release alone. Second, a simple soil test confirms active nitrogen fixation is happening in your garden within 60 days of planting. Third, planting these fixers within 3 feet of vegetable roots maximizes nitrogen transfer directly to what you actually eat. All 12 together cost under $200 and replace $300 to $400 in fertilizer every single season permanently. Here is exactly where to begin, based on your zone, right now. Here is exactly where to begin. Zone to plants to dollar. Zones 3 through 6 growers start with wild lupine, blue wild indigo, lead plant, purple prairie clover, and ground plum milkvetch. 5 proven cold-hardy nitrogen fixers totaling under $90 that permanently replace well over $150 in fertilizer spending this very season. Zones 6 through 9 growers start with wild senna, goat's rue, bristly locust, and crown vetch. 4 warm zone nitrogen fixers built for this exact climate and this exact soil. Fertilizer prices are staying elevated all through 2026 due to the Strait of Hormuz conflict. So plant now and root nodules establish fully before fall arrives. Miss this window and your very first nitrogen result waits a full year. You just discovered 12 perennials that permanently replace $300 to $400 in fertilizer every single season, while your soil gets richer every year. If this changed how you think about fertilizer, hit like right now so other growers find it before they buy another bag. Comment how much you spend on fertilizer every spring, then tell me exactly which zone and which plant you are starting with first. Subscribe to Planter Lab, because serious growers stop buying nitrogen and start growing it permanently, and we add 50 years of earned plant knowledge every single week.